HD3 Seattle。
现在是美国西部时间晚上11点整，这里是西雅图中文电台。
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of KKNW, its management, or other advertisers. This program is sponsored by Chinese Radio Seattle.
生生有情
1150 AM 西雅图中文电台，
这里是您的信息中心，
这里是您的心灵港湾，
这里是您的精神家园，
西雅图华人自己的中文电台。
朋友们也可以在网上收听我们的节目，收听网址是 ChineseRadioSeattle.com，
也可以通过智能手机下载 Chinese Radio Seattle 或者西雅图中文电台 App 来收听我们的节目。
我们的高清调频频道是 FM 98.9 Channel 3。
我们的微信平台、新浪微博和 Facebook 账号都是 Chinese Radio Seattle。
大家好，欢迎收听西雅图中文电台的音乐节目《西雅图不眠夜》，我是老鹰，
我是唱。
那我们经常听到一句话：音乐无国界。但是当两个人没有共同的语言时，音乐真的可以帮助他们沟通吗？今天我们想从一位有着丰富跨文化经历的嘉宾身上寻找这个问题的答案。他是一位创业者、可持续发展专家，也曾经在台北担任美国外交官。那我知道他也会说一点中文。你要不要先用中文为大家做一下自我介绍，在我们 dive into English 之前？
可以，大家好，我很开心参加你们，谢谢。
All right. So let me give our audience some background of our guest today. Our guest today is Grayson Shore. He's the co-founder and chief product officer of Buckstop, an AI-driven critical minerals urban mining company, and the founder and executive director of the Pacific Northwest Battery Collaborative. His diverse background also includes work as a U.S. diplomat in Taipei, an environmental intelligence briefer, a humanitarian aid worker, and an entrepreneur. But we are not here today to talk about his professional work. We're here to talk about what has remained as an important part of his life and a meaningful way for him to connect with people across different cultures. Music. So welcome to Sleepless in Seattle, Grayson. So my first question will be from the very beginning. You have lived and worked in many different places. So in the very beginning, how did the music first enter into your life?
Yeah, so I appreciate you asking. And again, thanks so much for having me both here, and hello to everybody listening as well. So yeah, music has been a really important part of my life from a very young age. When I was younger, I was about 5 or 6 years old. I was learning how to bike. I was in a bad bicycling accident, and I'd broken my back when I was younger. And as a result of that, I had to wear this full body brace, like from my thighs to my neck, basically. And when younger kids aren't the most friendly to each other when somebody looks a little bit out of place. Mm-hmm. And so it made me kind of like the nerd, weird kid and all that. And I got bullied a lot when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And through that experience, it was kind of like when I was younger, it was hard to figure out who I was, what I was doing, and why. And that's when I discovered music. I remember when I was younger, my parents came home. I think they got like my first guitar from Costco or something like that. And they said, do you want to learn how to play guitar? I said, yeah, I'd love to. I loved Ray Charles at the time, and I loved like the sound of piano and blues and Eric Clapton and all that. And so I started learning how to play guitar. And through playing guitar, I started to find my community, and I started to feel more confident in myself. And I joined a band within a couple of months of starting learning guitar. The band was called the Achilles Heel Project. And we ended up traveling all across California, raising money for, it's a nonprofit band. We raised a lot of money for younger kids to go to music schools and things of that nature as well if they couldn't afford the schools. And so literally the whole experience, and I'm looking down here because I wanted to bring some Chungyus that explain kind of how I felt what that experience was. And so quite literally, I felt like my experience at that time was the tuo tai huan gu of like literally I changed my bones from breaking my back to bringing out through music this connection to things. And it was more like my finding music was like my 破茧成蝶.
Wow. Very well used to 成语.
I don't even know how to translate them into English.
Oh.
It's like the full spirit got changed or something like that, right?
That's the beauty of Chengyu, right? They're kind of their own self-contained things in that way.
Right.
I think you need a poem to translate it, probably.
It's true.
Yeah. And it fit your story very well because you had injury. So it's 脱胎换骨, really 脱胎换骨.
Literally.
Yeah. So did you feel that at a certain point you started playing music seriously?
Yeah, so I think when I was in that band from I think about almost a decade with the same 5 people. So those five people became like my best friends through that process as well. And I remember kind of the height of our band was we did a recording. We went to a recording studio down in Hollywood, and we did a recording of 2 songs that we wrote. We spent a whole weekend at the recording studio, got that whole experience, was in a room similar to this as well in that case. And we were traveling a lot and doing a lot of shows as well, mostly throughout Southern California. And the kind of crazy thing is the song we recorded, it was sent out to a whole bunch of recording studios or record studios, things of that nature. And I kid you not, the day after our band broke up, because I was going off to college, I was a little bit older. I was like a half a year older than my bandmates. So I was the first one to go to college. The band broke up. The day after we broke up, we got a call from our manager, and our manager said, "You're not going to believe it, but I just heard back from this major record studio, and they want to sign you guys."
Wow.
And I was at that point, I was like, "It is too late. I'm going off to college. Things are, the plans are set." But it's kind of one of those things like, wow, life could have been a lot different. I think I'd still have the same crazy hair in any case, but maybe a little bit less time at school. So it goes.
Wow. You can't look back. Do you regret now?
I don't think I had no regrets on that. I think one of my favorite Chengyus, pulling in another Chengyu, not this one, not so much playing, but it's 才往是马言之非父. And so because I went to school and all those things, it ended up bringing me to China. And so when I went off to college, I got very interested in zhongyao, traditional Chinese medicine, because
TCM.
Exactly, TCM. When I hurt my back, and I was in those braces and everything, I never found that the Western medicine did anything other than to kind of deal with the symptoms. It wasn't dealing with the root causes of the pain and the issues that I had. And so I started doing Qigong, I started doing Tai Chi, I started taking, Chinese herbs and doing acupuncture, and I really wanted to study and learn acupuncture. And so I studied some of that when I was in college. And after I graduated college, my dream was to move to China. I wanted to move to China and study acupuncture and TCM, zhongyao. And so when I moved to China, years later, I moved to Beijing first, and this still of relevance to music, I was surprised when I was out there that when I arrived, it wasn't 出来乍到. I wasn't like a stranger just off a boat. It was more like 宾至如归. I felt like I was a guest who walked in and I was finally home because I understood the culture, but it was an unfamiliar place. And that's where, again, music came into play here. The bridge that brought me together with folks where I didn't speak that good of Chinese at the time. I knew pinyin, that was about it. But I knew how to play guitar. And I bonded over Chinese people who also didn't speak much English. A lot of people, I was the first white person that was their friend they interacted with. And we became friends through the process. And the last kind of stage I felt in all of this was I couldn't speak the language yet, but through music, I found my zhiying in all the different cities I lived in when I traveled throughout China.
You found your zhiying?
I found my close friends. Like through music, it was kind of like the Gaoshan Liu Shui, where maybe I couldn't explain myself that well in Chinese, and they couldn't explain themselves that well in English, but we could understand each other really well through music. and that's what I felt like kind of bridged that gap between, some white guy from California that didn't speak that much Chinese that moved to China and got close with a lot of people who had never left their hometown in the places that I traveled to and lived in throughout China. So music was that bridge.
Music is always the universal language that brings people together.
I think that's well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chang, you probably can resonate with this more than other people, because we had an episode of Chang describing his experience of him moving to here and finding people who also like music.
Right. It's about finding a community, right? When I was in Colorado, well, in Colorado there is bars, open mics there, but mostly is like a local people. But moving to Seattle, there's a bunch of Chinese guys. They they play music. We kind of share what we listen when we are child. So those things are much more common, and I find was one of them.
What are some of the songs from your childhood
Right.
that you guys play together or talk about that bring
Or
you really
listen,
close together?
just
Or
listen
listen to?
together, right?
What are some of the artists or songs that you liked most?
I think in our generation, the most popular is definitely Zhou Jielun. Yeah, and when you go to like Chinese hosted open mic, a lot of people are singing covers, and a lot of people playing like piano covers or guitar covers. Those are like really popular Chinese music back in maybe middle school, high school.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was thinking for a second you were going to say, I'm trying to remember the artist, but he plays Hongdo. Or I guess it was originally a female artist, and then I think it was a Taiwanese guitarist, right? He made that song really famous. Do you know what I'm talking about, Hongdo?
Is it, are you talking about the female?
Hongdo.
Wang Fei?
Wang Fei, yeah, exactly. I don't know, yeah. That's whenever I hear that song, it brings me back to living in Taiwan. And you play the saxophone, right? Which I think sexiest instrument out there as well. And I didn't catch earlier if you play an instrument too.
I was in a chorus.
You're in chorus.
Yeah.
No wonder you have a very good voice. So I imagine it's really good for
Thank
singing
you.
as well. Who was your favorite
It
artist?
could be better. I like Karen Mock.
Karen Mark. Oh, interesting. Which song?
Almost everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like Zhou Jielun.
Nice. Can't go wrong.
You and your friends, you did a concert for Fang Datong. Is that Fang Datong?
Oh, no way.
Yeah, just in memory of Fang Datong.
Cool.
We did an entire concert covering his popular songs.
Nice. You did that here in Seattle or
in Seattle? A
Wow.
lot of people coming. Actually, there is 80 plus people in the wait list. the tickets sell crazy.
were they all like Chinese origin people or Mandarin speakers, or were there
Mandarin
folks who-
speakers. Probably some Cantonese speakers.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you both see as like the local Chinese music community here. I wish I knew about that concert. I would have gone to that concert, but I guess I wasn't in the know. Like, it sounds like, is it a pretty tight knit music community here amongst the Chinese community, or what's it like?
As I know, you guys still meet once a week, right? In the open mic venue?
Twice a month.
Twice a month?
Yeah,
Okay.
twice a month. So sorry, what's the question again?
Just like, how would you describe the Chinese music community in the Seattle area?
It's actually pretty diverse, especially for younger generation. Before, I feel like the mainstream is like Chinese pop music, ballad.
Yeah.
But nowadays, people are like really into different like EDMs, rap, post-punk, like a lot of different genres, and it becomes pretty diverse.
Are those folks, are they playing their own music here in the community in Seattle? Like, they're writing their own original songs, or are they
Yeah,
cool?
yeah.
Nice.
People have their own style. People listen to different things, and we gather around in open mic, and you can hear a lot of different things.
Is there? I'm sorry. I'm finding this. I'm sorry to hijack. I'm just curious about this. It's like
It's totally okay. Yeah.
Seattle's got such a, as we all know, a really rich music history. I mean, grunge, the home of grunge here, right? I'm curious if like you guys have come across amongst the Chinese community here people who move from overseas to come to like Seattle because they really love grunge music and then put their own spin on it, like Mandarin or Cantonese grunge music. I don't know, like there are folks out here that are doing that and kind of merging the two cultures or languages.
I think there should be. Just probably I didn't know, but there has to be. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually did an episode when we first started doing the show together.
Right.
We did an episode about grunge music, the history here. So because I thought because we are here, maybe we should start from the origin, which is so legendary, right? But I was surprised to learn too that the musicians here, although they are so talented, they can play so many instruments, but they haven't heard of the grunge actually history.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
The gentleman that was in here in the recording studio for the last show before we walked in, he was telling me he lives in Beijing. They've been living there for 30 years, and he's a pianist. And one thing he said to me kind of seems of relevance. He's saying that there's a lot of really good musicians in Beijing, but a lot of them have a really strong pressure to copy, like kind of play very narrow music and kind of copy songs and play to what the gukumen kind of are wanting there. And it seemed like I could kind of tell from what he was saying that maybe there's less innovation, maybe, or like freedom to play your own song, right? Out there in a sense. Maybe I'm putting more to it than there was, but for the community out here, especially, I'm curious for people that have moved, that you've met, that have moved from China or from, Singapore or wherever it might be. Is there a trend like that here in the Seattle music community amongst the Chinese folks, or not so much?
What trend?
Well, like a trend of playing not original music.
Well, it's just different, all different kinds of music. Some people like the traditional Chinese style things, and some people actually trying to combine the Western ideas and with Chinese music. Yeah, and some people like I have a cappella group, and that group mostly covers English pop songs.
Cool.
I got some band like mostly focusing on R&B style. That's the most kind of Western, right?
Is anybody playing the erhu? In that?
I know a guy playing erhu, but it's pretty rare in band though.
We have someone who plays suona.
Oh, cool.
That's true. We have a suona. We have a guy play suona in a band, which is actually sounds pretty great.
Yeah.
When combined with like metal music.
Yeah.
We actually discussed talked about inviting him to talk to you because I think he's a AI made like his work is related to AI too, right?
Software engineer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry, us AI people are merging the cultures. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I have a question for both of you. So when you are playing the music, how do you balance between like playing it to precision versus be more innovative? Because when you are very creative and innovative, you might not focus on doing it correctly.
Yeah. There's I think it was Malcolm Gladwell. It's like a famous author, written a lot of books as well, a lot about psychology and all that. And he has this thing called flow state. And typically, I think they say like after 10,000 hours of doing something, you can kind of hit the flow state. And I find with music, like you don't have to have the 10,000 hours to get into a flow state, I find. And that's like, it's odd because I think especially like my sisters both play piano, and they went to a school that was it's like I forget the type of it. It was like a Japanese form of learning. I think this is Suzuki was the style, right? So very like kind of rote in some ways. And I found that sometimes restricted their ability to be able to get into the flow state, because it was like, no, this is the way you're supposed to do it. It is the way. And that's the nice thing about music. I don't think there is a way to play music. And so that's why I kind of say I don't think you have to have 10,000 hours of playing the guitar or the erhu or whatever it is to get into a flow state. I think once you know the basics, like I put my finger here and it does that, and this is how I can get the reeds to play necessarily, at that point, let that feeling out. And so I found when I first started learning guitar, I was going to lessons, but then at the same time, I joined that band that I mentioned, that Achilles Heel project, within a year of starting to learn guitar. And because I was in a band and was able to have the opportunity to kind of go into flow state, I could roll into things. So it made it more fun in that sense.
Let's take a break, and then maybe Chang can answer the same question.
Excellent.
好久不见，最近看你气色特别好，朋友圈天天丰富多彩的，在忙什么呢？
我呀，在西雅图长青学院上课呢。
西雅图长青学院都有什么课程啊？
课程可丰富了，想写字画画，有书画大师刘振生和邓作烈手把手教你；想放声高歌，著名声乐艺术家古雅瑜老师亲自带队；想舒展筋骨，专业老师带你轻松练太极、练瑜伽。
哇，这么棒，听着我都想报名了。
西雅图长青学院汇聚优质师资，开设书画、合唱、太极、实用 AI、舞蹈、瑜伽、实用英文等精品课程。学习新知，结交挚友，活出更精彩的自己。地点在 Bellevue Bellevue 路，交通便利，停车方便。报名热线206-619-8698。西雅图长青学院，精彩人生从这里开始。
餐饮、
娱乐、
招聘、
交友、
买房、
投资、
演出，
请找西雅图中文电台。
中文电台广告使您梦想成真，最低收费每月仅$100，就有机会使您的生意或者活动家喻户晓。
赶快行动吧！广告热线206-619-8698，206-619-8698，
或者发 email 到 crsradio@gmail.com。
西雅图中文电台需要您的支持。如果您曾经听到过西雅图中文电台的节目，如果您曾经在西雅图中文电台网站或者微信平台上读到过我们的报道，如果您参加过中文电台举办的演出或者其他活动，请您支持我们。西雅图中文电台是由非营利组织西雅图华人广播协会支持的，大多数的主持人多年来义务为西雅图以及全球的华人提供精神食粮。请您向具有501C3免税资格的西雅图华人广播协会捐款。捐款的 PayPal 账号是scbaseattle@gmail.com， 捐款电话206-619-8698，206-619-8698。西雅图中文电台感谢您的支持。
All right, Chang, it's time to tell your story.
Sure. Yeah, I think I share the same feeling as Grayson, right? So in the beginning of learning something, learning instrument or learning music theory, might be more restricted to the notes, or mimic someone, and in that period, not too many things you can express, but maybe after 1-2 years, like I think it's humans' intuition that we're trying to explore different things to make us special, or make whatever is me, right? Just try different things and express my own characteristics. Not even in like classical music, like playing piano, all of the notes are written in a music sheet. Different pianists will express differently. So I think intrinsically, it's not about finding a balance between like strictly produce the music with versus the innovation. I think intrinsically people tend to do that, tends to innovate, to to make their own special thing, right? Not mentioning jazz. Right? Jazz is like you just have a lead sheet and there's not too many notes on them. You can just start to play freely, right? And not only mentioning the how like create music, then there's no boundaries at all, right?
I like that you use the word innovation.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like one thing that kind of binds us together is some of we're both startup founders and focus on these things as well. And I think just like a startup founder is an entrepreneur and they're driving forward this innovation and kind of going to the beat of their own drum. Just in music too, I think there's that parallel. It's almost like being an entrepreneur of sound in a way when you're getting into the rhythm of a solo or something like that. One of my favorite things when I play guitar is I will go into a room and I'll turn the lights off, pitch black,
Wow.
and I'll have I don't know, I have like my electric guitar, and I'll just jam out there in the pitch dark, and I play 10 times better in the dark than I do when I have the lights on and I'm looking down. And it's what you were just saying just resonates so much on that. It's like let like kind of that innovation in and that freedom, and don't worry about the scales or anything like that. Just let it flow.
Right, I sometimes do that too. I
Really?
close my eyes and touch the keys, and I don't even know what that keys are, and start to improvise. Yeah, I sometimes does that, and it makes me calm down and just make the world quiet for maybe 10, 20 minutes. You know, I really enjoy those moments.
It's hard to find that quiet nowadays
Right,
too, with because of these things. You know.
That's true. That's true.
But you are off a lot of social media, I know, so you are a lot better already.
I'm trying. I don't have WeChat anymore, which I need to get back. So one of those.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about your background though. That you used to do choir, you do singing and all that. What's your music journey?
Not much. I was still learning.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I'm a very compared to you, I'm still a beginner.
You're humble. That's I don't know why that.
Yeah. So I actually still have a question for you guys. So you talked about your sisters in school learning music. So I'm wondering, also with the social media so available nowadays, you can learn from YouTube. But for you, do you think that there's a teacher or a bandmate that inspired you to start your journey or continue your journey? Or do you think, I can just watch some YouTube to learn how to play the guitar?
I think I went first last time. You want to go first this time? It's a good question.
I think in childhood you have to have some idol, right? I actually in my middle school or high school, I'm really into like the punk emo rock.
Yeah.
It's like a really
My Chemical Romance or something
right,
like that. Yeah.
right. My Chemical Romance, Green Day, those type
Yep.
of stuff. I feel pretty cool at that time because people are listening to 周杰伦 at that time, and those music come to my headphone. Wow, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know some English word at that moment, but I think it's cool music. And I think after that, the first time I learned piano, I was okay. I'll probably try some of the My Chemical Romance keyboard as the start. It's not that hard, right? Yeah, I think those artists are really influencing my life. Of course, different period I have different things to listen to. I listen to like electric music when I was in undergrad, and there's also a bunch of artists influence me. And then when I going back, when I pick up instrument, I would say, how does it do that? I want to see if I can make it again. Or yeah, those idea or those things are really influencing me. Yeah.
I love that. I have a lot of similar feelings to that too. It's a really good question. about the idols, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like standing on the shoulders of giants and all that. My first music love was Ray Charles, pianist as well, and how he was merging the blues and kind of like church house soul music as well. And I don't know, it's just like it like wakened up my spirit. And this like Ray Charles story as well, being somebody that was blind, like we were saying earlier about playing in the darkness, and somebody who's is blind and could just play those piano keys so with such amazing sound. That song is Shake Your Tail Feather, if you ever heard of that one, like, oh, great song. So Ray Charles got me initially. Elton John was my second one. And so I picked those two, and then maybe the last one would be my first guitar teacher, this guy Paul Campo, who's actually out in he's out in the area as well. And I remember my first lesson with him. He walked in as this guy in full denim like shirt, pants, and cowboy boots, and I like walked in. He didn't have spurs on, like what a cowboy would walk in when he has like the ch-ch, but I imagine the sound when I see him. He walked in and he introduced me to classic rock and soloing on guitar, and like, how do you bring blues and rock together, and how do you take that soul into like a pentatonic scale and all that. And was like, he really taught me the base of what I knew going into guitar. So he's my inspiration as well in that.
Wow. Thank you. So our time is up, so I think it's time to wrap up today. Thank you, Grayson, again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's really good to have you, and we wish you can come back next time. I feel like there's a lot more that you can share with us.
It's never finished. This conversation will just keep going all the time.
And
it's
for
a long
you too.
Solo.
right.
We're not a solo, it's a orchestra here, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And we are improvising, right? We are not like reading some script. We just talk. So it's really the language of music is a language.
Yeah.
You just need to speak out.
I say case in point, even as we got into our conversation here today, as we started talking about how we play music and the songs we like to listen to. It's late here. It's what is it? It's almost midnight here in Seattle. Yeah. And I feel like, at least for me, I know I can see it in both of your eyes. It's like I have the energy like it's 10 in the morning or something like that. So
we're energized by talking about music.
Exactly. That's the magic of music. Bridging and energizing and innovation all together.
And thank you for listening to our audience too at YouTube. And we hope to see you next time.
餐饮、
娱乐、
招聘、
交友、
买房、
投资、
演出，
请找西雅图中文电台。